Alrighty, so today we have a lot to cover in regards to the anniversary. I know that's really what we've been talking about here. I'm sure a lot of global players are not used to January being this slow, but this is really like most of the Dokkan content that we have right now. So the 10th anniversary coming soon. We have a big trailer here, but it really isn't like concrete, like, okay, we know what it is now, but there are going to be a few things that we need to talk about that are a bit of a developing story, if you will, right? So before we get into all of this, the battle hour situation, if you guys don't know, it has officially been canceled. I said yesterday in the video that the situation in that area right now was not good, and it was likely that was going to happen. And then they said yesterday, it was a few Twitter outlets said that they was going to go as scheduled, and then today they did announce the cancellation of it. So just want to keep you guys in the loop. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. It could turn to social media reveals. It could just be a regular YouTube video, but let's go ahead and get into the trailer that I have up here. I could have just played this while I'm talking, but obviously cannot play this with sound. You guys know that Dragon Ball music, we don't play around with that around here, but I'm sure you guys kind of know what the idea for this trailer is going to be. You can tell we're starting off with Dragon Ball, and I'm sure a lot of people are already nervous, but I don't foresee, like, you know, this looks like it's going to be the story of Dragon Ball. So it's like, we can't just like ignore the story of Dragon Ball. Like, we can't just ignore the catalyst for Dragon Ball, right? So Dragon Ball Z, just because they mentioned Dragon Ball, by the way, it doesn't mean it's going to be like, you know, Kid Goku is guaranteed for anniversary or something like that. So the Saiyan Saga in here, very nice, right? It's basically just doing like Dokkan animation versions of this, which is pretty cool, right? There was a support memory shown right there when Goku was doing, you know, when he opens the pod in Namek or whatever, one of the more iconic panels in the series, right? You know, the going through the Cell Saga, we're gonna go through Boo, all that. I am Super Vegeta, there we go, they had to do it. But I do think that this is pretty cool, you know, that they can do a complete telling of Dragon Ball through Dokkan animations at this point, right? Now, obviously, you know, we're not getting into like all like the filler dialogue and stuff like that between the episodes and things and like little minor plot points like that, but it is cool that we are able to see sort of the whole thing here through Dokkan animations, right? Like all the major plot points, bosses, heroes, little transformations or whatever, right? Major fights being shown. Awesome stuff. So showing GT is a good sign for Gogeta 4 enjoyers, right? I'm sure that's a lot of people. But it's we'll get a little bit more into the fusions a little bit later because something has happened with that. So it just goes to show you that we don't really know much, and these trailers and the videos that done before are not irrelevant. But again, that is why I always mention that it is speculation when I go into these things, because again, it is impossible to really just tell. It's like, okay, this confirms this character, right? Sometimes it's not dead obvious. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. In this case, it's definitely not, because they're giving a lot of mixed signals here, right? They literally just showed us every single series and arc and fight, major fight, in this trailer. So it is tough to sort of tell, but very cool that they're able to do the entire Dragon Ball story through Dokkan animations, minus Daima, right? Which we'll be getting, I promise you that. Maybe not during the anniversary, but we will be getting this year. So there you go. That is the major trailer that we have today. Again, not giving us anything too concrete, but it is at least confirming that the story of Dragon Ball is very, very likely going to be the theme of the 10th anniversary, and how they want to do that is going to be interesting. But let's go ahead and get into the data download stuff that we have that actually does give us some good information here. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over is the countdown images to the 10th anniversary. I don't know why I keep saying 8th, but the 10th anniversary. Now, if you guys don't know, this is what they do every year leading up to the anniversary. It'll be like X amount of days before we start. So I'm not gonna like sit here and do like 10 minutes on each one of these screens, but it is at least worth showing, right? So 10 days until the 10th anniversary, we've got Super Saiyan Goku, and this is very similar to like you guys have seen this animation a bunch when you guys do your multi-summons, right? When you get a God animation, sometimes they do this countdown animation where it goes 1, 2, 3, and then it will go with the God animation. So those are the first 4 sets here. Thank you to Rick55Gar, courtesy of him here on Twitter. For this, we have 6 days with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We have 5 days with Super Goku, 4 days with UI Goku, 3 days with Goku and Vegeta. That's the 7th anniversary free-to-play unit. So all these are anniversary free-to-play units, by the way. And then here's the 8th anniversary free-to-play unit, and then the 9th anniversary free-to-play unit. So again, very mixed signals here, right? Because it's like, you know, Goku's the face of Dragon Ball. We all know this. So it's like the anniversary when most of the times, if it's not like Gogeta or something, like even when it is Gogeta, right? Like we've had, this is the 3rd year anniversary logo, right? This was for fusing Gogeta, fusing Vegito, right? We had the 7th anniversary when they did fusions, Vegeta was there. 9th anniversary, they did fusions, he was here. Or it was Gogeta just instead. 5th anniversary was fusions, this blue Goku, and it ended up being just Goku as the logo. So I think it's very minuscule here. They're just doing minor little countdown images here. Not too much to go off of. If anything, it is sort of the story of Dragon Ball. That's really all we have here. But the story of Dragon Ball isn't really told just via Goku's Super Saiyan forms, basically, right? Like we have a lot more than just Goku's Super Saiyan forms, and that was shown in the trailer. So that is something we need to look at. Thank you to Rick55Gar on Twitter for that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next bit of information. Okay, so Minato tweeted this one, a good friend of the channel here, Mr. Minato's Flash, somebody I've known for a while, but Vegeta's story has been confirmed as a red zone, so this is pretty big, right? Where yesterday in the video we talked about how Goku's story isn't going to really tie back to fusions, right? But now with the Vegeta story red zone, things do get a little bit more interesting in regards to fusions. Tough to say, right? It's really like they keep baiting and switching us, right? Where it was like you see all these Buu Saga buffs and it's like, who's the last character that we're gonna need to get that major Buu Saga buff? It's the Super Vegito, right? And then obviously LR Kid Buu, we don't talk about that. But Vegeta's story for a red zone here, right? This I think was like, I don't know if this was just like an accident in the data download or something, but you guys can see with the mission, a summon ticket obtainable from the events Ultimate Red Zone Goku Story Edition and Ultimate Red Zone Vegeta Story Edition. So when we have a Vegeta Story Red Zone, I think that this really does kind of complicate things, right? Because like we're talking about the story of Dragon Ball here, right? That's sort of been the kind of like leading theme, if you will. Like that's the speculation. That's what we're all expecting here. And when we have a Vegeta Red Zone alongside a Goku Red Zone now, it's like, is this a prelude kind of thing where it's like, okay, here's the story of Goku via Red Zone, here's the story of Vegeta via Red Zone, and then for the anniversary, it's going to be like another Red Zone where it's like, this is like the combined efforts Red Zone or something like that. I don't know. I'm just guessing here because like you can probably make a Red Zone out of the bosses that Gogeta and Vegito fight. So it's like the first instance of them fusing is Super Vegito, right? So when we have Super Vegito, this would be a Buhan Red Zone, and then we would have a Janemba Red Zone, and then potentially we could have an Omega Shenron stage for a Red Zone, and then we could have like a Broly stage for a Red Zone, we could have a Merge Zamasu stage. So like they've already done these, but they could always just update these, right? And like we could just get another Red Zone. Like it's like the idea that like if they get like if we just want to think about where this 10th anniversary is heading, before we even get into it, I'm speculating already that we are going to have 3 new Red Zones, and we haven't even seen the characters yet. So 8th anniversary, why do I keep saying 8th? 10th anniversary off to a great start. Let me just make sure that I don't miss anything major here, and we can just go ahead and talk about that before we go. Okay, so real quick, not a surprise whatsoever, but we're going to have some special 10th anniversary tickets, and then there will also be a red zone or a red stone that you'll be able to exchange. And if you look at the bottom left here where my cursor is, we have like a UI Goku looking title. So that's going to be pretty clean. So if you want to use that, you can. But that's basically everything that we need to cover in terms of what today is going to be for the anniversary, sort of leading up to it. A lot of big things on the way. It's really tough to say what this anniversary is really going to be, right? It's like if you said, it's so tough, right? Because there's what forms of standalone Vegeta are we thinking for, right? Where it's like a base Vegeta, maybe that's, so it's like a theory that I've seen, right? If you guys know the Super Saiyan or the Super Saiyan Goku, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So it's like the AGL Super Saiyan Goku and then the physical transforming Super Saiyan Vegeta that slowly go through all their forms. So it goes base, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, or not even Super Saiyan 4, excuse me, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. Like, could we potentially see new versions of those? I personally wouldn't want to see like a UI Goku where it literally takes like God knows how many turns, right? Through the story of Dragon Ball, that's a lot. Like we're talking like turn 11 before we'd see like UI Goku, right? It would be really tough. So like I've seen that kind of floating around where people are thinking like maybe redos of these slowly transforming characters, which again isn't impossible, but I don't know. I think that what we've really kind of seen is I I really feel like I'm pretty standing on where it's like we're gonna have a couple fusions and then maybe like the Father-Son Kamehameha and then like Super Saiyan Goku, right? Another high speculative theory here is that we're going to be seeing a new rarity introduced during the 10th anniversary, but I'm not a fan of that, so I'm not going to back that, but I guess it is possible. So there we go. All the information for today. Let me know down below what you guys think. Who do you think anniversary is going to be? All of those fun things down below. So if you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.